Sometimes when I have people come over and take a look at plants, they'll ask me a question. How do you possibly fertilize over 200 fruit trees, hundreds of nursery plants, and countless support species and ornamentals on this 2-acre property? And how much does that cost? It has to be a fortune. Actually, it's almost free. Because I stopped buying store-bought fertilizer years ago. And instead of buying it, I started growing it. In fact, I would say what I have here is better than anything you could ever buy. And something else. If you gave me the option between a truckload of fertilizer and a truckload of rich compost, I would take the compost every day of the week. And by the end of this video, you would too. Somewhere along the way, I think we forgot something. Nature's been building fertile soil from the very beginning. Without garden centers, without synthetic fertilizer, without somebody reminding the forest it's time for another application. And later in this video, I'm going to show you why one of my favorite fertilizer crops is one that gardeners spend thousands trying to kill. Why I intentionally buried a dead coyote beside a fruit tree. Why I occasionally pee around my food orchard. Why one of my most productive fruit trees reminds me of a dog I'll never forget. But first, I want to show you the greatest fertilizer factory that I have on this property. Because chances are, you already have one too. Hey, I'm Josh with Desert Gardens Homestead. I just want to thank you for stopping in and checking out this video as well as this channel. If you really enjoy natural farming or permaculture centric videos, go ahead and subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment down below, and share the video with somebody you know. I'm striving to constantly make new and better content every week. So I just want to thank you again for stopping in. Now let's get on to that fertilizer factory. If I was to ask you where fertilizer comes from, most people would picture a bag sitting on a shelf in a big box store. I see it completely differently. Grass, leaves, compost, earthworms, microbes, and healthy soil. Because fertilizer doesn't come from a factory, fertilizer comes from life itself. And the microbes beneath our feet are the first to eat, not the tree. Healthy trees release sugars through their roots to feed the microbes. And the microbes feed the tree. The trees feed the microbes. It's a partnership that's been going on since the beginning of time. Remember that fertilizer factory I mentioned? It's not a compost pile. It's much bigger than that. You'll see what I mean. Here we are in summer, and this Nagami kumquat is completely loaded in fruit. But even cooler yet, still has a good handful amount of ripe fruit for me to munch on. Awesome tree. Nobody fertilizes a forest, yet every year the soil gets richer. Why? Because nothing leaves. Nothing is wasted. Nature doesn't throw fertility away. It transforms it. And that's the philosophy behind this entire property. All right, this is where some of you are going to completely disagree with me. One of my favorite fertilizer crops is Bermuda grass. I can already hear those keyboards clicking. Some gardeners spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars trying to kill Bermuda. I spend my time harvesting it. Every time I weed eat or mow, I'm creating mulch. Every time I mulch, I'm feeding the microbes. Every time those microbes eat, they're feeding my trees. Remember that fertilizer factory I'd mentioned to you? You're looking at one. Nothing is wasted. Take a look at these side by side. One is homemade compost and completely alive. The other one is just dirt and completely dead. Most people see soil. I see billions of workers working every hour, every day for free. Remember that fertilizer factory I mentioned to you? This is another one. Nothing is wasted. This may not look impressive, but this can contains billions of more workers. Workers that don't ask for weekends. They don't ask for vacation. And thankfully, they don't ask for a paycheck. Every one of these feeds the soil. Nothing gets wasted. Every season, my fertilizer factory gets a little bit bigger. This fig is absolutely loaded. While we're on the topic of absolutely loaded, take a look at this jujube tree. It is just bunkered down in fruit, and I can't believe that it's even holding itself up. Fruit on every square inch of this tree. This is just absolutely magnificent. These fruit taste like little apples, but just completely loaded. Birds don't touch them. Pests don't mess with them. Absolutely awesome desert tree. If you don't have a jujube, you're missing out. Many years ago as a kid, I believed that fertilizers grew trees. So I grabbed a bag and poured it on and used more and more and more. And I eventually killed that tree. That mistake taught me something I'll never forget. You can force feed a tree, but you can't force healthy soil. Healthy soil has to be built. Then there's the story of the coyote. I saw one on the side of the highway one day coming home and thought I'd stop and pick him up and give him a proper burial and feed him to my blood orange. Turns out he was there way too long. By the time I picked him up by his tail and threw him in the back of my truck, I heard a splatter. There was no turning back. Came home, buried him underneath this tree. My front area smelled terribly for about 3 or 4 days. I actually had my uncle mention it to me when he came over. But eventually, nature recycled it and it all worked out. Nothing got wasted. My blood orange got fed for the next 3 years. Eight years ago, our family dog passed away, and I buried him in the center of this chicken run. As a tribute to him, I planted this mulberry tree on top of him. It was only 2 or 3 feet tall when I put it in. Every spring, this tree is just loaded in fruit. And every harvest reminds me of Bear. Nature has a way of turning endings into new beginnings. That's true with compost. That's true with fallen leaves. That's true with dead branches. And that's true with this tree. Nothing is wasted. Even our memories become part of new life. That's why I don't fight nature anymore. I simply try to work with it. Remember when I told you I'd show you the greatest fertilizer factory on this property? You've been looking at it this entire time. It's not one compost pile. It's not one bucket of JADAM. It's not one patch of Bermuda grass. It's all of them working together. Every leaf, every weed, every grass clipping, every fallen fruit, every bit of kitchen scrap, every pile of manure, and every bit of compost. Nature doesn't waste a thing. It transforms them. My goal is not to grow bigger fruit trees. My goal is to grow richer soil. Fruit is just a byproduct. Because healthy soil never stops giving back. And your fruit trees will spend the rest of their lives thanking you. Don't buy fertility. Grow it.